Sit happens. In fact, it happens a lot. In my work as a medical assistant, I rarely struggle to get 10,000 steps in a day, but I do still end up spending a lot of time sitting at a desk like this, entering information into a patient's chart. Then, when I get home and have a chance to relax, I'm at a desk again playing Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, and of course, Star Citizen. When I got this chair from Monster Tech, I struggled to think of something unique to say. This chair is already highly acclaimed by channels much bigger than my own, and I don't want to just regurgitate the same information. So while I will go over the controls and what makes this chair unique for flight sims, it will be in the context of how it compares to my DIY attempt. First off, how did we get here? If you've been a longtime fan of my channel, perhaps you've seen my previous chair. It was made as a budget alternative to the Blackbird series from Monster Tech. As a proof of concept, it worked very well, but it had some shortcomings that would come to really hold it back in the end. First off, it was the first chair that I had ever made. As a consequence, I really didn't know what I was doing. I thought I did plenty of research, but I missed quite a few key details. First among those is using foam that was too soft for the seat pan. Foam is expensive, and I tried to save some pennies by using the same foam for both the pan and the backrest. But if we consider the physics of a chair, most of the force is in the vertical axis as it resists the crushing load of gravity and our mass. The backrest, by comparison, doesn't experience nearly the same load. So using the same materials that are comfortable for a backrest makes for a seat pan that doesn't provide enough support and leaves you sitting on the screws going through the bottom. The first thing I noticed about the Monster Tech chair was how firm the seat pan foam is. Honestly, I didn't like it at first. I had gotten used to cushy feeling chairs, and the Blackbird is not that at all. But as I spent more time on it, I realized something else. My back didn't hurt. You see, soft chairs are comfortable for all of about 30 minutes. Then your body is going to start to feel the effect of sitting on a chair that doesn't provide proper support. A firmer chair will provide more support. More support means that you can sit for longer periods of time without hurting yourself. Second thing we see on my chair design is it is a solid piece that connects the pan to the backrest. It was very important to get this angle just right so that it would be comfortable. And it is! Half the time! When we go back to the Blackbird, it has an articulated backrest. This actually took a little getting used to, just as with the firmness of the foam. But the result is when you get the tension adjusted for your weight, you can easily lean back and stretch out, or let the chair catch you and hold you up. This more dynamic posture means you aren't holding exactly the same position for extended periods of time. This is better for you overall, and my experience has been, again, less pain. Third, my chair was made specifically for my dimensions, so it should fit me perfectly, right? Well, yeah, but that took a lot of work, and I don't think everyone is willing to do that. At the same time, the men in my family are shaped a little weird. We've got short legs and tall torsos. So chairs that are tall enough are often too deep, and vice versa, chairs that are at the right depth are too short. But with the Monster Tech chair, it doesn't matter. I could have legs like Shaq and just make the seat pan deeper. Or I could have a torso like Shaq and make the backrest taller. Shaq could probably sit in this chair. There are 3 more kinds of adjustments you can make to this chair to make it work for you with varying levels of utility, in my opinion. It does have a tilt lockout, but the upright position is very straight, like straight up and down. I think it would be nice if it had a little more chill, by like 10 degrees. So I don't end up using it much and use the spring tension to get the angle I want instead. It also has a seat pan tilt, which I kind of wrote off day one, not really seeing a use for it. But I gave it another shot more recently and realized all the pressure taken off the backs of my legs and saw the light. So it gives you another way to adjust and make yourself comfortable, and that's always a good thing. It also has armrests that move up and down, in and out, and the pads rotate and move forward and back. I know this is standard flair on many chairs. I could actually do without the forward and back part, as I have a bad habit of leaning on my armrest to adjust my position, and I've nearly fallen on my face because the pad moved under me like this. Also, due to the unique setup I have, the armrest adjustments are especially not very useful to me because my hardware does limit how much they can be used, so your mileage will vary. But that gets us to the most unique part of my Monster Tech chair, and that is the joystick mounts. Monster Tech has offered swinging mounts for sticks for a while, but they have a rather narrow range of motion. So when I set out to make my own version, I wanted to improve on this, and I did. My chair uses magnets to lock the joysticks in the forward position when in use, and to put them away, you simply push them out of the way. For a game like Star Citizen, this is great since we switch from mouse and keyboard to joysticks very frequently. But especially since I don't only play Star Citizen with my setup, it was great to be able to put my sticks away without any awkward reaching or undoing any latches or screws. But it had a couple of downsides, and retention was one of them. It was a pretty frequent occurrence that I'd move my chair and my precious sticks that cost me some shiny pennies come swinging in from left field. At my request, MonsterTech fixed this by incorporating some magnets in the rear position to hold the sticks in that position as well. The rearward clamping force can be adjusted by changing the position of the magnets there. Let's give them a hand as well for how much nicer these magnets look compared to the JB Weld and PCIe brackets on the DIY chair. The other huge improvement that MonsterTech made is in the quality of materials. Both chairs use all aluminum for the mounts, but where I used 2020 extrusion on my chair, they used 4040 extrusion. And in this case, more is definitely better. It's significantly more rigid, and when the sticks are forward, I don't feel any slop. The magnetic clamping force is enough that I feel as though it is solidly mounted. The joints are much stiffer vertically, and the whole package is just a lot more robust and fun to use. After all that, they still worked in quite a bit of adjustment as well. I can move the sticks forward and back, side to side, not up or down, but they are already very well placed in that regard to me. As a final note, I also want to comment on the professionalism of the MonsterTech team. I came to them with what I thought was kind of a crazy idea. I was very quickly paired with a representative who took extremely good care of me. In spite of the time difference, I never went a day without getting a response to a question, and I got weekly updates on the status of the project. He sent me drawings and models, showed me pictures of prototypes they were working on. They really went above and beyond to make this product work for me, and the final result really shows it. I could not be happier with the customer service experience I had throughout the whole process. Keep in mind that I'm still a tiny YouTuber, so I am inclined to think that it played no role in my care. Especially since I don't think they knew I was a YouTuber until I asked for a work order number so that my viewers could request the same thing. To which they responded by saying that if I make a video about the chair, they'd give all my viewers 5% off their orders. So yeah, if you want 5% off your order, use code ODDJOB at checkout. And I think that that's pretty awesome. Thanks, MonsterTech. To wrap things up, I really like this chair. Having gone the very roundabout way of getting it, I can see how it justifies the higher cost. At the end of the day, I think it's worth it. It's breathed new life into my desk setup, I have less pain, and it just works for what I need. So I highly recommend that you check out MonsterTech for your next chair, and if you play Star Citizen or any other flight sim, they've got a wide range of mounts for you to choose from. And if you like what you see here, send them this video, and they'll likely make it for you too. Who knows, if it gets requested enough, it might even become a new product. If you liked what you see here, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things, let me know what you think. And if you want to see what I think about the RSI Galaxy and why big ships will probably be speeding up in development in the future, check out the video linked here.